Alright, this is just a mini vlog because I just want to get something off my chest. I went for a walk today. I was going to meet up with my dad and my aunt, but then my dad was done. And anyway, so I went and sat in the Byward Market. And yeah, that's right. Before I sat at the cafe, I was sitting on just one of these little benches. And there was a group of guys, and I don't know if they were homeless or just drunk, but I don't know. They were just talking to themselves. But there was this nice woman. I don't know if she was Spanish. I remember I was sort of overhearing, and I forget where she said she was from, but she was talking about how she is studying the Bible on her phone, and she's going through, did she say the Torah? She said the Torah, so that caught my ear, because I'm Jewish. But she seemed kind of Spanish, or I don't want to say Filipino, but maybe, because apparently the Spaniards colonized the Philippines as well. Anyways, at some point there was this really loud horn sound. I was like, like it really hurt my ears. And there was a fire truck going by at that moment. But then she was saying to the guy, that was your horn? And so he had gotten up and he had a horn on his bike or something. And it was like, and it was so loud, it hurt my ears. And I started Googling, like, can you have permanent hearing damage from just like one instant sound? And it said yes. And I was like, oh God, my hearing's ruined. And then a few minutes later, this guy gets up again, goes to his bike, and starts going like, just and I said, that's when I snapped. And I don't often swear at people or whatever, but I was just like, what the F is wrong with you? It's hurting people's ears. He's like, yeah, screw you, man. F you. And then the woman's like, trying to calm the guy down and say, hey, listen, like, you shouldn't be, there's people just trying to sit here and enjoy and in peace, and this guy's just trying to, be calm and enjoy his phone or whatever. And then the guy's just like yelling at me. And then this other guy, he starts swearing and stuff, but he looked like he was like this, like, like, and I'm over here and I'm like, is he yelling at me? Like, he's not looking at me, and I'm looking over and I don't see anybody else. So I don't know if now I'm wondering, was he blind? I don't think he was blind, but maybe he didn't look like, I don't know what was wrong with his eyes. But anyways, so he's swearing at me and I'm just like, I've had enough of this. So I just get up and I walk away. And as I'm walking away, the woman's yelling behind me. She's like, I'm sorry, my apologies. And I felt at that moment, I wanted to turn to her and just say, hey, listen, like, I heard that you're studying the Bible and you sound very nice. I just wanted to say something to her. I felt like maybe she could be my friend or something. But I was like, walking away. And I went and sat on another bench. And I think I was looking over for a bit to see, I don't know what my plan was, to go back to her later. I thought, you know what, I wanted to go buy something at a store, and then got a drink there, and I came back. And I think when I finally came back, she was gone. I'm like, oh, she's gone. Well, maybe she'll be back. Maybe people tend to sort of sit in the same area, because those guys were still sitting there. And eventually they left, and then nobody was there. I was there from like 2 o'clock to, or 1:30 until like 9 o'clock, and then actually 9:30. So now I just feel bad. I feel like, I haven't had a girlfriend in a long time, but it felt like a moment like 10 or 20 years ago or 30 years ago when I was just walking away and some girl's like, no. And I'm like, ugh, and I know I don't want to do it and it's hurting me and I should just turn around and say, sorry, like apologize. But I did it thinking, I'll have another chance later. And there is no other chance. So now I just get attached to people. I feel like it just hurts me to think that, I blew it. Like, there's this nice person there I could have been friends with. So now I'm thinking, like, okay, what can I do? And my jogs, instead of going that way every day, I can go jog that way to the market and see if she's there every morning. Or I can go for my jog in the morning, or maybe I'll jog that way anyways. Because my parents lately have been saying, how come you don't jog that way? It's the same distance. I'm like, yeah. Because I always feel like if I go that way, then I'll have pressure on me to be like, I should be talking to people or sitting somewhere. When I run the other way, there's just nothing that way, and I figure I can just run back. But anyways, and then I'm like, maybe I should go back tomorrow afternoon and sit there. But I'm going to have to sit there all summer, and I'm going to have to do it soon, because it's already August soon. It's like July 25th today, and I can't believe it. I told myself I was going to savor this summer, and it was going to be the longest summer ever, and it's already August, and then it starts getting cooler in August, and that really, really upsets me. Anyways, I was talking to a friend, this girl I met 5 years ago, who was traveling the world from New Zealand, and She stayed with me for a bit, and now she's in New Zealand. She's getting married in November, and she's like, and I said, she's like, maybe you should come. And I'm like, and she's got a girl that wants, is a single friend, whatever. And then I'm thinking, what if I go to New Zealand and then I'll never get to see that woman again? I don't even know her name. It just makes me sad. So I don't know. Maybe by telling you this, it can alleviate, like, just, I don't know, feel less alone. If I'm telling the story, then I can talk to you guys and it makes me feel less alone. But I'm just talking to my phone. I'm not even talking to anybody right now. Oh, it just makes me so sad. How did I should have stopped. I should have said, okay, let me calm down. I'm sorry. Thank you for apologizing. That's very sweet of you. Here's my Instagram, just something. And then I wouldn't have, walked away with regret for the rest of my life. Why don't I learn? How have I not learned yet? Why am I still acting that way? On the other hand, I guess in my head, I'm like, I can't talk to this group of, rowdy, weird guys and this woman I don't know on the street. Like, that's not how it works, but I don't know. I'll keep you posted if I see her again.